All right, hello, I've got some more for you. The next thing that we're going to do is the Esky training collar. So this one is the one I got. It's a collar that you put on for dogs for training. So I know that I've got a lot of animal friend lovers and stuff out there, but I did try this one for a few reasons, and I'm going to go over them. This particular brand comes with two different settings. I have two very large dogs. One is a Husky, and the other one is a Rottweiler mix of something. She's got the colorings of a Rottweiler, but when you look at her or you try to play with her or anything, she just goes nuts. My Husky is kind of shy and timid, but he will sit there and he will bark at you nonstop. She wants to jump all over you, and he wants to bark all the time. It makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And we live on a corner lot, so when people walk by our fences and stuff, it just drives both of them crazy, and they just start barking for no reason. So my husband and I discussed it at length, and we decided that it was a good idea to at least see. I'm a product reviewer. This is one of those things that I can get on a product review, so why not at least see it? So the one I picked was the Esky training manual, or the training collar. And the reason why I picked this one is, first off, this is the controller. It comes with it's very, very easy to use, but you've got there is a shock option, or there's the vibration option. I personally, when the first day I got it, I opened it all up and I set it all up, and I kicked on the shock and I put it on one of the highest settings. I think I was too nervous to go as high as it would go. I believe it goes up to 16, and I had it set at 13, so it was pretty close to the top, and I tested it on myself. It's not bad. It's not bad. I am a veterinary technician. I have experienced other collars in the past, because they teach us about shock collars and the damages it can do and what kind of things that can happen if you use shock collars. And in being a part of that training, you also have to feel what it's like to get shocked. And some of those collars are absolutely ridiculous. So I completely agree with a lot of people when they say some shock collars are not okay. This particular one, even on one of the highest settings, I still felt, I just felt kind of like it wasn't painful, it wasn't anything, it just kind of interrupted me, if that makes any sense. It just kind of made me aware of, oh, that did not feel great, but it didn't hurt, it wasn't painful, there was no marks, no nothing. And I put my hands right here on the metal, right where the points are, where it comes out of. I had my hand right on it. It's me. I wanted to test it out first before putting it on my dog. Now, the other setting, this is the reason why we chose this particular one, because I have my reservations about shock collars. This one also has a vibration option. So instead of shocking, if you're just very anti-shocking, then there is a vibrating option, which has worked wonders. This particular collar this particular set of system can go up to 330 yards, and there's two different channels. So my guess is, if you had two dogs, which if I had another collar I would appreciate, because you can have one controller, you can go back and forth between the channels, so that way you know for a fact you're doing the right dog. It's very easy, it's very lightweight. The only thing is, the one thing that I will say about this is, if you have children in the household, I have a 2-year-old. As soon as he saw this, he thought it was a game. He thought it was some kind of game system or something that he could play with, or a phone of some kind. My only concern is with this particular product is the colors. I understand why there's so many different colors so that you can see the differences, but it looks too much like a kid's game, and my kid wanted it. Obviously, we kept it out of sight. He never touched it. He never got to play with it. Okay, sorry for that. All of a sudden the TV kind of came on. But yeah, he never touched it. He never got to play with it. But it was something that, you know, even because he's 2, he did fuss over because he thought it was a game. It kind of looks like some of his other toys that he plays with. So that would be my only concern about this particular option. But I do really like that it has like I said, the vibration and the shock feature. On top of that, there's also a tone. The collar is turned off, but there's a high-pitched tone that goes doo, or you know, if you hold the button down, if you hold this particular button down, it goes doo doo doo. It like gives it pulses, and it was easier to train the dogs that way instead of just going lay down and then, you know, hitting the vibration button. As I'm saying the command, because they know their commands, they just kind of get really out of control when new people come over. So when this particular collar is on them, it's always, of course, within our presence. We're always supervising, except for one thing, which we'll talk about. But when you push the yellow button, it emits the tone. And as you're saying the command, you can also put the tone, and that makes them aware that they need to listen to you. And then if they're not listening to you, then you can go ahead and, you know, give the vibration or shock, whatever your choice is on this. It does go from 1 to 16, so there's different levels depending on how comfortable you are or how comfortable they are. On my Roddy, who's very smooth coat, when I put it on her, and we did only use the vibration. I wasn't comfortable using the other option. Not that there was anything wrong with it. I just chose, my dogs did well without it, so there was no need to use it. So when I put the collar on my female, my Roddy, she's very smooth coat under here, so the points were able to get right where they needed to be, and they stayed, and she reacted perfectly when we had to administer the vibration mode. Which was fantastic. And then with my Husky is all white, but he's got like a big mat of fur right here on the front. And unfortunately, it's one of those dogs. It says in the directions that you have to shave them or trim them really well, so that way the points can have contact with the skin. But with my Husky, if we decided to trim him down that far, it would just look really, really funny on him. So we didn't do it too much with our Husky, but we did do it a lot with our female. Now with our female, she's a puppy. She just turned 2 years old. She's right. Those are my dogs right there. When it's really snowy and stuff, they come inside and they sleep in their kennels and stuff. But that's my Husky. That's Thor. And that's Athena. So with Athena, she's extremely puppy, and she will jump over everybody. She was born the same month as my son, which is why we got her. But she's very hyper, very jumpy and everything. And when we put the collar on her when the company was over, it was a lot better, because she started listening for the tone and stuff, and she was able to sit down more. So it really helped calm it down. It's not something that happens overnight. It's all training. You got to continue. You got to stay on top of everything. But the collar was definitely a great tool to add on top of it. We did leave. We were doing barbecues. Most of the time the party was inside, but the few minutes that we did go outside to finish cooking and stuff, during that time she was able to get the tail. My female is not allowed to wear cloth collars, and my Husky cannot wear cloth collars because she's a big chewer. She loves to chew leashes. She loves to chew collars and stuff like that. So when she does chew a collar, she decimates them. There is no coming back. There is no reusing it or anything. So at least you can say something else with the toughness of this collar. I can still at least reuse this part. All I have to do is cut this off, and I can still use this. So it's a good testament to how strong and how durable the collar itself is, because it survived a chewer. So, and when I say survived, she probably had it for a good few minutes gnawing on it from back here. And then that's when we came in and caught her and immediately took it off. So we haven't been able to put this back on her yet until we fix it. What I would probably suggest to the company, if you're willing, add one of those small little black clips that'll help keep the slack of the collar up higher, because all you have is the tightening one here, and then the loose stuff hangs pretty good. So other than that, you know, and this is already another 10-minute video. I've been pretty bad about those lately. But I really wanted to give this collar justice. You know, there's I know majority of my friends are very much against this kind of product, but I need to say that sometimes it's warranted. With my husky, he's really shy. And after a minute and stuff, he warms up, but it's the barking, and he's a husky. There's not much that can be done about that. But my female, my Roddy, she doesn't need to be jumping over everybody who walks in the door. So those are the kind of reasons why you kind of have to pick your battles on what you're going to be training with. But if you're going to add additional tools, make sure they're ones that you're comfortable with. This one I was very comfortable with because I could adjust the range. That I can go from 1 to 16. I can choose between the shock option or the vibration option. So it depends on the situation. It's not all of a sudden, bam, it's one shock and you're done. You know, if it's just mild behavior, you can rely on the vibration. If it's a major issue, you can go to the shock. I love the tone on this, where you can hit the tone while you're giving commands, and that way it makes her think. Like, as soon as she hears the tones, it stops what she's kind of doing so that she can focus on me. There's been a few times where all I've had to do is push the tone and she does what she's told. You know, I won't have to use the vibration. So we are actually going to continue to use this system as needed. I like it better. Unfortunately, they're not allowed to go outside with them because my female will chew it, unfortunately. But the range on this is 330 yards. So I could just imagine how this would be a great tool if you go to the dog park quite frequently, you know, or, you know, any situation where you're actually supervising for a long period of time or for training purposes. It comes with a very detailed manual. So it comes with everything you need to know about the controller, about the collar, about everything, how to make sure it is. They do give you some warnings in here, so you just want to make sure that you're reading them. And as always, if you're ever going to use any kind of training equipment like this, use them correctly. Make sure you're reading the book. Make sure you're reading the directions. If you put these on the wrong way, if you're not using them appropriately, they will hurt your pet. So I like how very, very descriptive they are in here. They make sure that everything that you're going to do safely and efficiently. So big thumbs up for Esky. Thank you very much. I have tons of other products. You guys kind of message me and let me know what kind of products that you are interested in, and I see if I can get them so I can test them for you. Any questions, comments, concerns, or if you just have an idea that you would like me to try to get onto, just let me know. Again, let me try it before you have to buy it. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon. All my blog information is down here.